All right, today we're going to be making a super simple homemade beef chili. All right, we make chili all the time, and there's a million reasons why to love it. And it's one of those things that you can do a homemade chili, almost anytime in no time. That's one of the great things about it. There are lots and lots of recipes out there, and you can certainly find one that you love and use that. Good place to look is in my ground beef recipes cookbook. You can check that out. But more than just a recipe, I wanted to talk today about what the elements are in chili and how you can just kind of wing it based on what you've got and what you feel like having. So this time we're doing a beef chili, right? Ground beef, love it, super cheap, fills up the kids, high in protein, the whole 9 yards. And I take about a pound and a half, say about a pound and a half, ground beef. I just browned it. That was a 90-10, which is 90% ground beef and a 10% fat. So there was a little bit of fat, and I went ahead and drained it off. Now, if you want to keep the flavor, which chili has tons of flavor, you're adding lots of flavor in there. You don't need the fat for it. If you're trying to cut calories overall, then you can rinse that under super hot water and get more of the fat off of it, and you don't lose any flavor long term, right? So that's a good trick. All right, so 5 elements in chili, and 2 of them are optional depending on how you want to do it. Beef or chicken or turkey, or you can use cubed beef. All of those things, those work great if you want to use that as your main source of protein. Secondly, this is also optional, you can use beans, and you can use any kind of beans you want. I've just got pinto beans. This was a couple, 3 cans, 4 cans, I don't even know. I make 4 cans of pinto beans. And you open them up and you drain them under running water, because the juice that canned beans comes in is not real nice. You don't want that. But you can use black beans, you can use cannellinis, you can use navy beans, you can throw hominy in there if you want to. So beans, so optional protein, whatever you like. And that's the main thing. When you finally hit on how you're going to do your chili, it's whatever you like. My 6-year-old is sitting right there mimicking every motion I make. Would you quit, please? Please. Okay, so 1 and 2, meat, beans. 3rd, spices, right? These are the flavorings that you're going to use. And I've got all kinds of stuff in here, and I kind of mix it up so you can't really see what it is, but I'll tell you. I've got about a tablespoon of kosher salt, and it's kosher salt. Don't use the iodized salt. If you do, you need just far, far less. About a tablespoon of black pepper underneath there. Can you see it? Doesn't really matter. A couple of tablespoons of garlic powder, a couple tablespoons of onion powder. Then I've got about 2 or 3 tablespoons of oregano, which I love in Tex-Mex dishes. Love it. And that's about 3 tablespoons of just a plain commercial chili powder. You can make your own chili powder if you want to. I often do. But don't feel guilty if you grab the stuff off the grocery store shelf. I don't. Now, one thing I do like to do, and this is why I think chili is far more a technique than a recipe. You notice I put the spices in there with the ground beef. We're going to let those rich, intense spices warm up a little bit. They're going to bloom with the ground beef for just a minute or 2. You don't want to let it go too long because they'll burn, which is not nice. You don't want to do that. Okay, spices, protein, beans, also a protein. Next 2 components. Actually, the garlic. It's a lot of garlic. Love it, love it, love it. Garlic's going to go in here with our veggies, because veggies is number 4. So I've got 2 really big, nice yellow onions that I chopped up. And you really do need some kind of pepper, bell pepper, when you're doing chili. You can use green. I happen to have red and yellow, so that's what I used. So we've got 2 big onions, a bell pepper here, and a bell pepper here. Use 2 of whatever color you want. In addition, you're going to use some chilies. Now these are Anaheim chilies. I like them. They have a nice, mellow, low-key heat. And I have a single jalapeno because I feed little people and they don't want tons and tons of heat. And then the garlic, right? So veggies. Number 4. Now, all of these things together are going to contribute to number 5 on what you got to have to make chili. Stir those up and get them going, because those vegetables will start releasing some moisture, prevent our spices from burning and sticking. And go ahead and throw the beans in there. There's huge debates. People get crazy when you're talking about chili, about whether or not you can have beans or not have beans. Well, I use chili as a way to inexpensively feed a whole bunch of kids, right? So I use the beans because it's an excellent source of fiber, it's a great source of protein, and it really stretches out the more expensive ground beef, right? So that's kind of win-win-win everywhere. So I use the beans. Now, the beans and the veggies are going to start releasing some liquid. This is number 5. You're going to have some sauce, right? To kind of pull everything together and let all those spices and those flavors intermingle. I think you almost have to have tomatoes when you do chili, unless you're doing a white chili. No. All right, so the battery on the camera died, so we had to take a little break, and I think we were about to talk about tomatoes, which was the 5th element of making any kind of homemade chili. So I have 4 cans of petite diced tomatoes. You can use whatever you like. It doesn't matter. You can use the whole ones and then break them up. You can use tomato sauce if that's what you want. I happen to like this because it gives some texture and some body, but you get lots of liquid. See all that liquid? That's what's going to make the saucy stuff of your chili. See? So all of that goes right into the pot. And you saw how hard this is. I mean, the hardest part of doing anything with making homemade chili is just doing the chopping of the vegetables, which that's not even hard right there. So this is one of the reasons why this is so nice to come together, you know, just about any time. And it makes a ton. I like making tons because not only will they eat it for supper, but they'll eat the leftovers. My kids will top chili with just about anything. You do avocado and onion and cheddar and sour cream and all that kind of stuff. But they'll also use the chili to top all kinds of other stuff. Like, you know, they'll put it on salads, like an impromptu taco salad, or they'll put it on hot dogs or baked potatoes, or my son Ricky makes chili sandwiches. So it's really pretty versatile. You can't have too much chili. All right. That's all we're going to do for a while. So we've got this on about a medium heat, and I'm going to leave it uncovered, and I'm just going to bring it up to a simmer and let it do its thing for half an hour or so, right? So that's all there is for the moment. I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like when it all comes together. Okay. So I've been letting this simmer for a few minutes, and let me show you what it looks like. So at first, when you dump everything in there, it's going to be a little bit dry. But see, the tomatoes release their liquid, and all the other veggies release their liquid, and all those seasonings come together, and that's what makes chili so awesome. Look how pretty that is. That's pretty. That's pretty chili. How to make pretty chili, right here. So the kids have broken every last bowl I had. I started the year with 16 brand new bowls. I now have styrofoam. But homemade chili is one of the most satisfying, easy, delicious, healthy things that you can feed your family. It takes very little time and almost no effort. You saw I just dumped everything in that pot. I tell you. Well, good. And you can top this however you want to. You can use cheese, you can use onion, you can do more jalapenos, you can avocado, you can use sour cream. Sky's the limit. Whatever you want, throw it on top of there. You're going to like the result. Now, if this video has been helpful, please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And you can check me out on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, and my daughter's trying to get me on Instagram, which is one more. But we're going to do that one too. And if you get a minute, hop on over to Patreon and click the subscribe button, because that super, super helps me out. So, there you go. Homemade beef chili. Easy, fast, super yummy. Mmm.